We've already gone through all the instructions. Expect a tough, clean fight. Protect yourself at all times. Any questions here? Any questions here? Let's get it on!
In the early 90s of the 20th century, the American public dreamed of seeing the Battle of Lewis versus Morrison. Why? The answer is simple. Hatred of Lennox and exaltation of Tommy. Lewis was a hellish mixture, a Briton with Jamaican roots who had Canadian citizenship, not the heavyweight leader that America dreamed of. Morrison was the golden boy, the Duke of boxing, the embodiment of the American dream. In 1992, Mike Tyson was jailed. Tommy was seen as the replacement for Iron Mike on the throne of the Royal Division.
It's a fight that's going to catapult me to the top of the rankings. That's going to make me basically a household name. That's going to make people take me as a real fighter.
After the premiere of the movie Rocky V, where Morrison played the role of boxer Tommy Gunn, even people far from fisticuffs learned about the Duke. With popularity came the first fiasco. Morrison suddenly lost to Ray Mercer. The audience favorite, though, returned, scored a good move, and in a battle for the vacant WBO title, defeated George Foreman himself. By this time, Lennox, without an official fight, was appointed world champion by decision of the World Boxing Council. The leaders of the organization were furious from the tricks of the belt owner Riddick Bowe and his manager Rock Newman. The final point for ending the relationship was Bowe's act when he defiantly put the dummy of the WBC gold title in the bin. Riddick clearly demonstrated his unwillingness to fight Lennox. The World Boxing Council has forever eliminated Bowe from its ratings. Lewis became the champion without a fight, and thus only added negativity to his person on the part of the American public. The audience talked about a unification battle. Lewis against Morrison, a pragmatic businessman against a handsome cavalier man. The fighters' managers, Frank Maloney and Bill Keaton, sat down at the negotiating table. It was a small matter. The fighters each only had to defend their title once before the unification battle. Lewis, with some difficulty, completed the task in a duel with Frank Bruno. And Tommy was destroyed by Michael Bent in 1.5 minutes of the first round. The champion was on the floor 3 times from Bent's smashing blows. Few expected this turn of events. The fight with Lewis was canceled. Tommy was no longer the world champion and lost the promised fee of $7.5 million. Furthermore, in the media, Lennox criticized the negligent opponent, which caused even greater negativity against him. America hated Lewis. Sweet revenge is a feeling that all the haters of the Briton experienced when he lost the title to Oliver McCall. But the former champion was not looking for excuses. He took the blame on himself and changed the coaching staff. Lennox returned to the ring under the leadership of Emanuel Stewart and became a new man. By this time, Tommy was in a fever, both in the ring and in his personal life. Scandal after scandal. Statements about the beatings of ex-wives and girlfriends. Nightly adventures and clashes with the police. Health problems and weight. Flimsy performances in the ring gave way to bright victories. In June 1995, Tommy gave a fantastic fight against Donovan Ruddock. Lennox occupied the first line of the WBC rating. Morrison was located on the second. On October 7, 1995, the two former champions crossed their gloves in the square of the ring in a fight for the unimportant IBC title. This moment has remained aloof. The public did not care what title was at stake. She had long dreamed of seeing this battle and for some reason still believed in the success of her scandalous favorite. Tommy only had to try to portray a semblance of a competitive battle. In the second round, he was knocked down by a counter left hook. Morrison leveled the situation a little in 3 and 4. But in 5, missed the worst that can be missed by Lewis. His right uppercut, which led to the second knockdown. In round 6, Tommy shook at any touch of the Briton's glove. Mills Lane stopped the fight after 2 falls of the Duke. His right eye was closed. Jabs from Lennox had damaged his cheekbone. Morrison was beaten. The jaw and arm were broken, and their career was actually over. When asked by the journalists about the reason for the defeat, Tommy muttered the words about polygamy and fatigue, which instantly scattered in all the media.
Tommy Morrison, it seemed to us that you were looking at a different, more disciplined Lennox Lewis in this fight than you might have seen before or hope to see again.
Well, I think he was very disciplined in this fight, but one thing for me is that I wasn't able to execute the way I done. I just got a shot in the eye, it closed. I'm used to fighting with broken hands and broken jaws and all kinds of things, but I've never had to go to battle with something like this. And he's a long-arm guy. I have no excuses. I mean, he was a better man tonight, but I never fought in this position before. But I'm young, no sense in taking punishment, and I'll be back. It's one of those things.
For Lennox, the battle with Tommy was the first step on the way to the top of the heavyweight division. And for Morrison, it was a step into the abyss. In February 1996, before the scheduled fight with Arthur Withers, the Duke was diagnosed with HIV.
Came back to my room, my message light was blinking. He said, you flunked your medical exam. They said you tested positive for HIV.
He linked the cause of his ailment with a rampant lifestyle, which, however, few people were surprised. Endless investigations and scandals have enveloped the life of the former champion. He lost not only to Lennox, but also to himself.
I'd ask that you no longer see me as a role model, but see me as an individual that had the opportunity to be a role model, and blew it.
Boxing experts are still wondering, did Morrison ever have a chance to defeat a fighter like Lewis? Or is this all the fruit of a sick imagination of the American dream? Tommy's career resembled a bright flash. The audience wanted to see him a replacement for Mike Tyson, and safely forgot about the Duke when Iron Mike was released. Morrison's talent cannot be denied, but boxing is not a 36-minute fight. This is a way of life. The sport requires maximum return to get results. It is necessary to spend all your resources, time, and effort. Tommy did not want to give anything. He only wanted to take everything from life. Resisting the fruits of his success is no less difficult than reaching the top.